Let's do this. YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building for another last Cloudia X NieR Automata Collab video, reviewing some more info that we got today on the release of the collab. Very hype morning, very excited. I see a lot of the community highly anticipating this collab, and I think for what we're getting, it's turning out to be a pretty generous one already. And I just wanted to go over what I did notice in the news, and that is the details regarding the 11 pieces of equipment. So it is confirmed that my assumption was wrong. It was not including any paid gear. For one, Nines is a free unit, so he doesn't have paid gear in the shop. Duh. And the way that it was worded was kind of weird because it had stamps next to it, like within the same sentence as well. So it was like, well, is it counting the 3 stamps in that 11? No, we are getting 11 pieces of free to grind equipment available to us. So I want to go over the details because there are some very interesting quirks to these different equips that I figured it'd be worth going over in a video, and especially for new players, these are probably going to help out a ton starting out, especially because there's a lot of very viable weapons. We'll go ahead and start checking it out and just get right into it. So starting with the first that is listed here, we've got the Virtuous Contract, which we know is a sword. Its trait at max enhancement. Regular attacks have a chance to deal extra damage, strength plus 20% at max HP. First of all, you're getting a little bit of neutral extra attacks on your regular attacks, but then you're also getting a pride effect with this sword, so very nice for just on the start of battle burst damage. Quite nice. This is the weapon that they told us that we were getting from the collab challenges. If you noticed when you logged in, there's a collab challenges tab on the home screen. If you click that, you can see the individual missions that you need to complete in order to then get this sword right here. And notice how it says at max enhancement. So some of these, or maybe all of them, I know a lot of them, if they're in red, you get their traits that are shown in red through enhancing the weapons and or gear in general. So keep that in mind. We'll go over how to enhance these gear at the end of the video because it's not quite available right now. For stats, you're getting strength plus 145, defense 17, and mind plus 9. Again, for a newer account, just a very, very solid piece of equipment. So quite nice to see. Next is probably what I'm most excited for, and that is the Iron Pipe. So this is actually a spear. Not a common type of weapon that is usually ran, but at max enhancement, it's got critical damage plus 10% and break value plus 50%. So in my head, I don't know what the real percentage it translates to because there are differences in when it comes to stacking break on top of each other. The way it multiplies into each other can actually have somewhat of a diminishing effect, which you have to take into consideration, but it says break value plus 50%, which is no small number. So putting this on top of characters like Merity, or whenever you are trying to optimize your breaking potential, this seems like an incredible piece of gear. You get strength plus 132 and defense 37, which aren't great stats, but it's mainly this break value plus 50% that catches my eye, because that's a big old number, especially for just one weapon, one piece of gear. And it looks like how to obtain Fish Encyclopedia completion reward added September 2nd. So, I mean, since it's bringing up the fishing, I might as well just say here that you get the enhancement materials whenever they release this Habitat for Machine Fish event. So they'll put a fishing spot in the world map that is here for a limited amount of time. We get these metal fish, and I think either the fish or we're getting some type of material from that. You can see once you've caught the fish you need, head to the alchemy lab to enhance your equipment. So this is how we're going to enhance these collab equips, but it won't be available until September 2nd when this comes out. Next, we're looking at Cruel Oath. It's another sword. It's 9S exclusive. At max enhancement, battle start, auto cast haste. Now, this is a temporary buff. We know this because it's a battle start effect. Whenever you see that on a weapon or piece of gear in general, battle start or traits anywhere in the game where it says battle start, it's going to translate to a 40-second buff at the start of battle typically. That might range, that it might not be consistently 40 every time, but it's a temporary buff at the start of battle. So for the first however many seconds, you're going to have a nice haste effect if your character doesn't already have auto haste on them or fast haste. But that will be very nice for any time you're taking on quick stages and you just need a little bit of burst potential. This may come in handy for characters that could use that extra 25% SCT charge rate. Close to death, strength plus 5% is absolute garbage. That is such a small buff, I don't understand. The attribute is dark for this equipment and its strength is plus 126. Now the thing is, the problem with this sword is that it's 9S exclusive. 9S is all about support, debuffing the enemy, and inflicting status ailments. Nothing in this weapon helps him in that regard. It's just it's an autocast haste, it's a tiny little strength boost when he's close to death, and it gives him a little bit of strength. You will acquire this through the point reward, so just by playing the event missions, you will get event points, which will then unlock this weapon for you. Next, we've got the Type 4O Lance, another spear. At max enhancement, enemies are more likely to faint, and damage to enemies fainted or in break plus 10%. Nothing too crazy here, but may be helpful, especially for very early game and anywhere that there are niche cases where you want to rely on fainting. The 10% extra damage to fainted or in break is not super significant to pique my interest. Strength plus 140, defense plus 120, defense plus 26, and it is a neutral element, and it seems that it's going to be added to the points. The part 2 of the collab, September 2nd, we'll be able to get this from grinding the event as well. Followed by Demon's Cry, which is a claw weapon. Its trait at battle start, autocast haste, so again that temporary haste buff. When defeating an enemy, restore MP by 1%. I'm not mad at that at all because that will stack with Pose of Honor. So in cases when you're fighting mobs and you are relying on the killing of mobs to regain some MP, this is just going to help. It's going to give you an extra 1%. I think Pose of Honor is, what, 5%? Exactly. So Pose of Honor gives you 5% recovery. This would then just stack on top of that, giving you an extra 1%, which I'm not complaining about at all. It is a dark attribute weapon, HP plus 150, strength plus 151, and it will be acquired in the trading space, the event trading shop. In part 2, they will add this. So very cool. I'm not mad at this weapon at all. Just nice to have a stackable MP recovery on top of the Pose of Honor skill. Cruel Blood Oath is another sword we're getting. Its trait, battle start, autocast haste. This seems to be the theme of this, is a fast haste buff on a lot of these weapons, which again, not mad at that at all. Close to death, strength plus 15%. Basically just a better version of the Cruel Oath here, and it's not freaking 9S exclusive, so we'll take that. Its status at max enhancement attribute is dark, strength plus 156, defense 10, and mind 5. This will also be acquired through the event trading space, added in the part 3 of this collab on September 9th. Battle goggles. I know I was making fun of this during the live stream, calling them goggles, but if I would have listened to what Kit was saying, he literally explained that if you don't understand the lore, it's going to be funny that these are called goggles. So that kind of just made me feel like a fool once I rewatched the stream and heard him say that. It is an accessory. Trait is none, but it does give blind nil and strength plus 30. So nothing too crazy. I mean, having a blind nil effect, I'm not mad at, because that could help in potential tour missions whenever you need to equip gear to, give certain units ailment resistances in order to meet certain mission requirements. So that's what I see the most use out of here. Blind nil, I don't recall many fights where blinding is so much of an issue that you can't get through it. So kind of just a niche accessory right here, especially since there's no trait. The trading space is where you will acquire this, and it should be in the game already. I think I might have bought it already, if I'm not mistaken. But then we've got the Yorha. Is that how you say that? Yorha? Type B combat gear. So kind of weird because it's made for a 2B, but she's a dual wield character, so why would you ever run this? It is a clothes for women only. At battle start, apply defense plus 25% buff. So battle start, we know that's going to be a temporary effect. It gives us strength plus 46, defense 100, and mind 68. Also a little bit of stun resist, which is a very useful resist to have on a piece of gear. Also acquirable from the trading space right now, starting today. Then we've got machine clothes, another clothing type armor that boosts movement speed. That's consistent, so I'm not mad at that. Strength 60, defense 123, and mind 61. Trading space reward cannot be enhanced, added September 2nd. So we will acquire this on the part 2 of this collab, which will be September 2nd, as we can see. I'm not mad at it at all. If I have a little utility character that I'm not concerned running dual wield on, and I want to give him a little bit of extra movement speed, this is just another way to do that. So very fun. Then we've got the Yorha Type S combat gear, so 9's clothing. It is 9S exclusive. Dark physical attack damage plus 10%. Defense 108, mind 108, and stun resist. So again, a stun resist on any type of gear. Not mad at that. Trading space reward, and it will be added on the 9th. This can also not be enhanced, so keep that in mind. And then finally, the 11th piece of gear that we're going to be looking at is Pod 153. This is an accessory. Physical attacks deal damage plus 10% when hitting a weak attribute. So this is a fantastic accessory they're giving us. Strength 59, defense 24. Nothing crazy, but not bad stats at all for a piece of accessory. And then we've got as a first clear reward on September 9th. So I imagine when they add the final stages of whatever part 3 is going to bring in the event, this will probably be the first time clear reward for the final challenge, which will probably be pretty tough. The fact that this is just going to add a plus 10% physical damage when you are hitting a weak attribute will make it very useful if you're taking on harder content. You know that you're taking advantage of weak point boost. You can stack an extra 10% damage on top of that, which multiplicative wise, I think it's very beneficial, especially when a unit is already weak to whatever element you're attacking it with. Adding more weak damage on top of that is just going to look great, especially if you're struggling to hit those cap numbers. This will be a way to help you in that sense. So very nice accessory. I like it a lot. And that covers the 11 pieces of equipment that they are dropping on us in this collab. Very generous that they're just giving us this many pieces of equipment. A lot of them are enhanceable through the fishing event, so I like that those two things tie together. It just keeps you playing the game. It keeps you doing something that feels progressive no matter if you're taking on the event. You can grind up these different pieces of equipment, and then if you want to chill and go over to fishing, you are then acquiring the enhancement material to upgrade these weapons. So I like the way that these two things sync together. And like I said, I'm most excited for this spear. An extra 50% break value on a piece of on a weapon sounds amazing to me. So I can't wait to talk to the guys tonight and get their thoughts. I know that they've been up since the collab released and they've been grinding like crazy. So it'll be great to get their thoughts. I'm sure they'll be nice and tired, but ready to talk to you guys about their findings and what they think about everything. With all that being said, I'm going to cut this video off. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know any videos I post immediately in case of emergency. You won't miss out. And that's all I got for you this time. Guys, I really want to start the NieR Automata playthrough today. Even if I can only get like 1 or 2 hours of just starting the game, I want to try and do that over on Twitch. So make sure if you have a Twitch account, go follow me over there if you want to see a playthrough of the game that is inspiring this collab. And with that, I will leave you with work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.